Protesters are calling this a shopping boycott or a no-buy day on a Sunday where people in Hong Kong might be out. You know, Hong Kong's a shopper's paradise and you'd see lots of people throughout the city's mall busy spending lots of money. With this boycott, people are trying to stop people from going to the malls. They're trying to make sure people avoid those places, and what happens potentially is people don't spend that money. Some of the shops might even shut up if there is some form of violence. And it's all part of an aim for the movement to hit Hong Kong where it hurts, and that is in the economy. So the government will actually sit up and listen to their demands. We know from previous protests that it is actually hurting the economy already. So much so that the government's actually had to announce some rent cuts for retailers. Retail sales are down for some businesses as much as 40% in some cases.
Incredible. And elsewhere, we're reading about the airport yet again going to be a location for protests. What's expected to happen there?
Yeah, so the protesters have announced something called a stress test of the airport. It was supposed to start about an hour ago, but we're not seeing huge amounts of protesters yet. What we are seeing is a very large police presence. There's huge numbers of riot police that have taken up position at Hong Kong's Airport Express. That's the train that runs direct from central Hong Kong to the airport. And some of the bus routes are actually not going all the way to the airport as well. At the airport itself, there's very strict protocol at the entrances and exits. People can't get in without a passport and ticket. And we saw similar measures in place last week and in previous weeks after there were protests at the airport that got quite violent. And so far today, though, those measures seem to be somewhat, I guess you could say, successful for the police, because they're managing to keep the flow at one of the world's busiest airports. Passengers are so far able to get to their flights with no issues. Although tourism is down in Hong Kong, certainly after months of protests, people are really feeling the pinch. Airlines in particular, the flagship carrier Cathay Pacific, for instance, they've had far less demand for flights into Hong Kong. Normally it'd be peak season for visitors, and the government's actually had to call off, because of safety concerns, National Day fireworks. Those are due for October the 1st on the Hong Kong harbour, and it's usually a big tourist attraction that we're just not going to see this year.